Hi, my name's Laura Manskelko. I'm a senior biology student with a genetics minor. This is my horse, Double Stinker. I've had him since 2013 and I've been riding since 2010. I started with reining and then moved to barrel racing and pole bending. I've been riding, 2013, I started riding in 2010, so I've been riding for about 12 years now. And I have background in Western and English, and primarily in the stock horse disciplines, so cow working, Western pleasure, trail, and reining. And I have competed at the Stock Horse of Texas shows with him a few times, and we are now focusing on eventing, but we started with moving into the English world by doing dressage, and we did dressage for about 3 years before adding some jumps in. And right now we are schooling beginner novice and hoping to move up to novice. I really would like to take this class as my old trainer, Mindy Wiper, who graduated from A&M in 2002, had taken this class, and she said it built a really strong foundation for training horses. And as someone who wants to continue in the horse industry, it seems pretty important to be able to train a horse and have some of the skills ready in case anything happens. And also, I would really like to start a breeding program upon graduation. So I think being able to raise young horses and train them with the right foundation and skills would be very beneficial. So to add on, this is my mare. I've had her for about 6 years now, and we had restarted her. She was a broodmare for about 7 years before I got her, and I had bought her without having ridden her, or anyone had ridden her, and we, together with my trainer, had restarted her. So that's my background in horse training for the most part. I did do a working student position for a dressage rider based in Montgomery, and I worked on her horses on the ground a lot, and some of them were young warm bloods, 5 years old. I think the youngest was 3 years old, and some of them did have very bad ground manners, so I do have some background in dealing with that. So since she was a broodmare, she kind of inspired me to want to breed horses and to raise foals. I've actually met one of her foals, and I think it would be really cool to carry on with that. She's not too old, so it would be cool to get a baby out of her before she can't anymore, and be able to raise that baby and train that baby with the skills learned from this class, hopefully. Hi, this is me catching and haltering my horse. There's a storm today, so the horses were inside, so unfortunately I have to recreate it in the arena. So,
Hi, Dora. Hello, Mira. Hi.
So she likes to keep her head high, so what we do is we usually do that to get her lower, and then I'll do the walking and trotting now. She is a little lazy right now. She's been in her stall.
Angry? What are you angry at?
Girl. Okay. And now we're gonna do it from the other side, because that was asked for. Do you want to put a little warning? She's not quite used to this, which is my fault. I should be doing it more, but so she's a little rusty, and I'm a little rusty. That's why.
Girl. Hey, drop.
Good girl. Good girl. this is what we use here at this barn. So I'm going to tie him so I can saddle him. So I always tie my girth, and the way that I always was taught is with the Texas T. So that's what I'm going to do, but I also do know the other way, which is just a buckle thing. I just personally don't use that method. And he has kissing spine, so he twitches a little with things. He's been tested for pain, and we haven't found anything. So here's my Texas T, and you're okay. He's also a little shaky because no one's ridden him for a few days because of spring break, because I went out of town. Like that. And then do this. Okay, so now I'm going to bridle him using my Western bridle with an English bit, because that is what he goes well in. I always do that first, so he's not connected to anything. And then I put this around his neck, so that way I can grab him if he does decide to run off or walk off, as he mostly will do instead of run off. Always put the reins over first, and then haven't used this bridle in a little bit, so I'm gonna make sure his tongue is under. And this one has a throat latch, so of course we'll put the throat latch on. And last we'll take off this. So primarily I ride dressage on a day-to-day basis. And while I tack up, I will mention that I did junior wranglers from probably the ages of 12 to 15 at the YMCA in Conroe. And that also helped build a good background for me and horses, as we got to ride and help people basically as kind of like camp counselors, I would say. And today I'll be lunging her in her dressage tack. So I chose the dressage tack. Girl. No, girl. Then I'm not going to tie these in yet because she has a tendency to keep air in her stomach. It's one of those. So this is her English bridle, the very mellow bit on it. Just gonna swing the reins over. And she doesn't really like taking the bit, so I do have to use this trick. Get her to open, making sure the tongue's going under the bit. Yeah, boy. because I think she would benefit most from it by going both ways.